Hello, this is Postdoc Chronicles, week number 28. And right now, I'm really enjoying so much this game on my Nintendo Switch known as Pinball FX3. Okay, and in fact, starting today is the Black Friday sale on the, of course, in the US. You know, a lot of I don't know if it's like every item or just video game related, but yeah, a lot of like video game stuff right now is on sale, and in turn a lot of digital video games on the Nintendo eShop, if you go online, is also on sale. And the nice thing is that since I got hooked up with this game, also currently in the Black Friday sale, the tables are also for sale because technically this game for the Switch is free, but if you downloaded it in the first week when it was released, which I did, you get like three free tables. Currently, there are like I think 40 tables available for it, so you get the first three tables, and then if you download it later on after that, after the week of the launch of the game, then you only get one table for free, which is known as the Sorcerer's Lair. Okay, and I've been putting this game, on hold for a long time because I thought it was like something that is, boring. There's nothing to it. But then when I tried, getting into the game and learning the table in depth, I realized that this game has a lot going for it. It's very cool. So I have it on my PS Vita. I also have a pinball game on my 3DS, but in my opinion, the best way to play digital pinball is on the Nintendo Switch, which I'm gonna talk about why later. Okay, but basically, yeah, I only have like a few tables remaining which are not on sale because there's like a set of tables that are recently released, so those sets are not on sale. So I think I'm gonna wait until they get on sale. But the nice thing about those pinball tables is that they are based on actual pinball tables that were famous, years ago. Okay, and me personally, I really haven't tried playing physical pinball, so it's one of the things that I want to see when I'm still alive, is that I want to be able to find an arcade with a real physical pinball table, but until now I haven't done that. Okay, but the idea, the cool thing about Pinball FX, there are a plethora of digital pinball games available for the Switch. But then the nice thing about Pinball FX is that they don't really try to emulate actual pinballs. They make the pinball sort of like video gamey or arcadey, if that makes sense. Okay, so in other words, they incorporate things that can only be done on a video game but not on an actual pinball table. Okay, and most, or in fact a lot of they have a lot of original tables, but then most of their best-selling ones are based on existing IPs. For example, they have a table for based on movies like the Alien franchise, the Jurassic franchise, and so on. And then they also have tables based on video games like Doom, Skyrim, Fallout, and others. Okay, and the nice thing is, for example, in the Skyrim table, so before the table begins, you actually get to create your own character. There's a dragon that flies over the pinball table. You have life, you have mana and stuff, and then you level up. You get side quests and so on. Then you say, oh, how do you do this in a pinball? But yeah, that's the unique thing about Pinball FX, is they managed to do that in the in the confines of the pinball table itself. Okay, and what else? So yeah, so it's really very fascinating. And another thing that got me into the game is that there's this table known as the Alien versus Predator table, and then currently I got top three worldwide. Okay, and to give you an idea about the player base, one thing I also like about Pinball FX is that if you go online, the community is so alive and so active. Okay, and so there are some tables where I'm like rank 20,000, rank 30,000. So you can imagine there are a lot of players for this game, because the scoring system, even though you're playing on the Nintendo Switch, it is cross-platform. So people are playing on the PC, on the PS4, on the Xbox, or even on the Switch. The all the scores are shown together. Who's the top for a particular table worldwide? And there's this table known as Alien versus Predators, where I got top three worldwide. Okay, And of course, that's not to say, oh, Marvin is very good in pinball. No, I found a. So what happens is I was playing that table, and then suddenly there was a glitch happened. Okay, so I'm not sure. Maybe I'm gonna show a clip for this in this. Yeah, I think I can. I think I took a video of it, but yeah, let me show you what happened here. Okay, and so basically, what happened is that the ball got stuck in a bumper, and then what I did is I left it overnight. Okay, and so I left it overnight, and now when you check like the online, and you go to that particular table, Alien versus Predator, you see that my score is part of the top. So you can't. It's not. I'm not sure if it can be seen from the angle of the camera. But the nice thing about the Nintendo Switch, of course, is we can take it from the TV. Okay, and then now it becomes a handheld. But basically, if I focus it here, yeah, you can see there top three. Yeah, that's me right there. That one, that guy. Let's focus this one. Come on, focus, okay? But yeah, that guy right there, that long-haired guy whose name is A1, that's me, okay? And I scored 50 trillion plus, okay? That's a huge score. But yeah, I got that from a glitch. But you know the guy, I don't know if they also did the glitch, but the guy in the top one is like in like 200. It's like his score is like I think 5 times more than mine. Okay, but yeah, but anyway, another I think in my opinion at least I think the Switch is the best console to play the pinball because the amazing thing about the Switch is pinball by design it is vertical, right? And so what you can do is you can take the Joy-Cons of the Switch, or if you know that, okay? So you can take the Joy-Cons away, and what you can do is you can press the select button, and what happens is it turns vertical, okay? And so when you lay flat and then when you play it like that, it's like you're playing a mini pinball table, which is the real pinball tables are of course vertical in what they call this portrait mode. Okay, so it's really very fascinating, and I really like I'm loving this game so much. Okay, and again I thought this game initially that's why I didn't play it right away. I thought initially it's gonna be like something like it's very simple and it's very there's no depth to it. But yeah, I was so wrong on that front. And in fact, one of the nice things about the pinball is that you can play it in a relaxing way. Even if you're thinking about something else, you're just hitting the flippers and the ball. You're just making sure that the ball doesn't fall down. Okay, but you can play it as deep as you want. Okay, in other words, like you can be as calculating as possible. Like you have to hit specific areas to get as high score as you want. Okay, but yeah, anyway, enough with my pinball. Let's go to my postdoc, what I did. Okay, so but yeah, unfortunately, Jong just found a paper that is back in 2012, a CMS paper, okay, that did a search that is very that is targeting the specific decay chain that we have. The only difference is that in their search they use a different mass hierarchies than we have. Okay, and in fact, when Jong showed me that, I told him I was under the impression that when you use checkmate, every searches that Atlas has and every CMS searches are already incorporated in the checkmate. And he's like, are you kidding? No, because like not everyone, like it takes time to incorporate a single paper into the checkmate like framework. Okay, and so not all CMS and Atlas papers are incorporated there. And in fact, he told me that usually only the famous ones or the non-underground ones are incorporated there. And yeah, we were fairly sure that that's why we did our model or decay chain in the first place, is because we thought that this is something that is not typically targeted in an Atlas and CMS searches, because usually they have missing energy signatures. Their searches depend on missing energy, missing ET. Okay, while ours is called stealth SUSY. We don't. It's something that evades that what do you call this? That signal. Okay, and yeah, so what happens is, what's gonna happen now is Jong is actually very confident that this particular search is gonna exclude a lot of our benchmark points that I've already been doing the mass scans of. He said it's gonna exclude a lot of those, and the fact is, this was a paper back in 2012 where when the square root of the center of mass energy is still 7 TeV. Okay, and so he told me that had this search been done for, currently they're doing the center of mass energy is 13 TeV. So Jong told me, had this search been done at this scale, 13 TeV, then he said it would be like excluding a lot of the benchmark points that we currently have. Okay, and so he said that the saving grace that we have now is we actually don't know that yet. Okay, so that we actually don't know. The available data is for 7 TeV that targets that specific search. Okay, so the plan now, okay, so we with that paper, the plan now is we make our benchmark points even higher to avoid that new paper that could exclude our benchmark points. Okay, but the problem is, when you make the masses higher, the efficiency when you get the number of events becomes very low. Okay, because again, when you increase the mass, then the cross section becomes smaller, and so the corresponding number of events will become smaller. And in fact, Jong said even Deepak's substructure technique. So Deepak is showing me this different variables that can probe into the jet substructures that may be correlated to the mass, that could significantly improve the signal. Jong said even he thinks even those improvements would still be superseded by the exclusion of this CMS paper. Okay, yeah, but yeah, so what I'm doing now is basically I'm writing a checkmate. So what I'm doing is, this particular CMS paper back in 2012, that's not part of the checkmate framework. So I'm now learning how to write a checkmate code so that this particular paper will be part of checkmate, and then we can run checkmate on our particular search. But yeah, so far there's still some problems, with the software. There is some, I don't know, issues with the 7 TeV and so on. We're still looking at it, and we only have 2 weeks. So yeah, this weekend we need to work. Like this weekend, Jong and I is gonna meet at the campus. So entire weekend, Saturday, Sunday, we're gonna do research, and in order to sort this problem. Okay, but yeah, anyway, that has been Postdoc Chronicles week number 28. So by the way, I'm also about to sleep, but before that, I'm gonna eat some Nutella. So I just eat it without the bread. It's very yummy. Okay, but anyway, yeah, this has been Postdoc Chronicles week number 28, and I'll see you for Postdoc Chronicles week number 29. Bye bye, and thanks for watching.